Akashavarshavarti Vishwamakhilam Brahmadidevasura Yat Sattva Tarushaiva Bhati Sakalam Rajyo Yatha Hirdhamah Yat Padaplavamekame Hi Bhavam Bodhe Sthitirishavatar Vandeham Tamashesha Karana Param Ramakhyamisham Harim Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram सियावर रामचंद्र की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय Hari Om. We were in the portion where Bhagwan has now reached the banks of Tamasa river, and the moment Bhagwan sees Gangaji, when he reaches Shrungaberapur, which is right near that place, few miles away, Bhagwan quickly gets down and does pranams to Gangaji. Dandavat pranams he does to Gangaji, and then tells the glory of Gangaji to Lakshmanji and Sitaji. Sumantraji is also there. And after listening to this glory, all of them take a dip in Gangaji. Then Bhagwan had gone and met Nishad Raj. Nishad Raj came and met Bhagwan. And the prayer he does when he meets Bhagwan for the first time, Deva dharani dhanu dhama tumhara, main janu nicha sahita parivara. And Bhagwan, I am Dasa along with my entire family, and whatever I have, everything belongs to you only. These were the two main themes we had seen in the last session. One was, whenever Bhagwan takes avatara, avatara means he assumes a physical form. In addition to the leelas that he does, he also does his charitra. Leela is when he shows his extraordinary powers, something that a jiva cannot even think of doing. That is his leela. At once he can appear in many places. He can do so many extraordinary things which another jiva cannot do easily. But charitra is something that Bhagwan expects every jiva to do on their own. Means one can say, I cannot do things like Bhagwan, leelas like Bhagwan, because I am a jiva. I am an individual, Bhagwan is much more powerful than me. But one can definitely say, or one should say, I should do my charitra, or I should try to live my life just like Bhagwan's charitra, because that is what Bhagwan wanted all jivas to do. So that charitra of Bhagwan was in the form of the faith that he shows in all these altars. That simple river is flowing, but he says this is not only river, this is Ganga Maya. Gangaji who is presiding over here, that Shraddha he has towards Gangaji. So in different facets of life, not only having this intellectual quest, but also supplementing it with lot of Shraddha. And sometimes we see this in ourselves, or we might see it in somebody else, that they have so much of faith in some altar. And we doubt, or somebody might doubt, that why do they have so much of faith? Does it even answer their prayer? Have they even gotten anything through that altar? Bhagwan says in Bhagavad Gita whichever faith a person has in whichever altar. Whatever faith a person has in whichever altar, Bhagwan says, I give results to them through that altar. I give results to them through that altar. It's only they don't recognize it. They might feel it is gained only through that altar, but he says, I am the one who will give result through that altar. And not only that, it will make them be even more faithful. I increase their Shraddha through that altar. Now, if you go in villages and all, you might see, they do so many pujas. They might tie some thread around a tree and then do some puja there. Now, somebody who is not having that samskara, having that kind of Shraddha, they might wonder, why are they doing this? Or they have some other rituals. Like once you take water from Gangaji, you have to go running and then offer it to Lord Shiva. You can't stop in between. And they'll go with the groups of people. So 12 people group will go together. If one person gets tired, the other person has a bike or something where he'll climb, and this other fellow who was on the bike will start running, but they will not stop. You might wonder, what kind of ritual is that? But Bhagwan says, yo yam yam tanum bhaktah shraddhayar chitum ichchasi tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyam. Whatever a person seeks from whichever altar, I will make sure that they get results from that altar, and that will increase their Shraddha. And that Shraddha, whatever they want, once they start receiving it, their life will become more and more turned towards me. That is this part of Acharana, living a life of devotion, of Shraddha. And on the other hand, the Acharana Bhagwan showed was of having a good routine. Sattvic Acharana. That itself has the power to help us face the challenges of life. Means our sadhana should become such that if we miss our prayer one day, we should feel that I'm missing something throughout my day. I'm finding it more difficult to handle the day. Or on the other hand, he feels, because I have done my morning routine well, done my prayer well, he says, I have a new strength to face world today. See, Bhagwan's life in forest would have had so many challenges. But one anchor is this sattvic routine, where he says, nothing is a problem. I knew one Swamiji, he would put a status, morning 6 to 9, in conversation with God, do not disturb. So his prayer, another name was conversation with God. So we should also find some time during the day where we can have that conversation. And the result of that is this person can go through ups and downs in a much stronger way. So that was the part about Acharana. And for a Vedanta student, this Acharana becomes very, very important and critical also. Because sometimes what happens is, when we study Vedanta, a lot of emphasis is given on thinking. Atma and Atma Viveka is there. Avasthatraya Viveka is there. And a lot of hair-splitting logic is also presented. And in and through that, this Acharana part somewhere gets a lower priority. So on Navratri day, we were discussing about different type of balam. You remember that? One was physical balam, shariraka balam. Another was buddhi balam, physical strength, mental strength to plan things, execute things. Third balam was daiva balam. Daiva balam is this, acharana. That strength we derive out of prayer, regular prayer. And only with that strength, we can actually digest the fourth thing, which is jnana balam. Jnana balam means the strength coming out of knowledge of Vedanta. So Mahavakya Vichara, whatever strength it has to give me, if we really have to benefit from that strength, if we really have to gain that strength, we need this portion called as acharana. Of course, we might not be able to do long rituals, but to our best ability, having that conversation with Bhagavan. And the second part was Deva Dharani Dhanu Dhama Tumhara, Main Janu Niche Sahita Parivara. What Nishad Raj says to Bhagavan, that all my prosperity, land, wealth, and home, although I am living there, Bhagavan, it really belongs to you only. With this healthy mindset, he says, I have come to you. If this can be our prayer every morning, that Bhagavan, I am starting a new day, and different roles I'll be taking, different things I'll be doing. But I should remember that my master is you only. Because some things will work out well, some things will be according to how we want. That is your credit, because you only gave the resources, you accomplished it. And some things will not work out as I'm looking, them to be. It will not work out as I want, or as I define success to be. That is also okay. Gracefully we will accept both, because the one who is bringing both of it is Bhagavan only. The immediate result of this kind of mindset is this person will be free from worry of yoga kshema. What is yoga kshema? Anxiousness to protect what is there. Anxiousness to protect what is there. And also fear or anxiousness to get what I don't have. And it can come in all these things. It can come in land, it can come in dhana, or it can come in dhama also. Land, wealth, or home. In all these things, if this sadhaka is able to bring this sincere attitude of bhakta, in spite of having all these things, he is not bound by those things. Because he says, Bhagavan, the one who is really taking care of my yoga kshema is you only. So whatever has to be brought, you will bring. And whatever has to go, it will go in a way that I will realize later why this happened in that way. Deva Dharani Dhanu Dhama Dumara, Main Janu Niche Sahita Parivara. Okay. Now Bhagavan is finally meeting Nishad Raj, and then he is going to take him. Now Nishad Raj told Bhagavan, you come with me along to the village, to the city. Bhagavan said, no, I am on Vanavasa. Coming to a village also is forbidden for me. So wherever I am, I will stay. So Nishad Raj is bringing everything and making arrangements wherever Bhagavan was. Okay, 88th Doha after that. Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. 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 Rama Lakshman Siya Rupa Nihari, Kahi sa prema grama nar nari. Te pitu matu kahau sakhi kaise, jin pathaye ban balak aise. Ek kahai bal bhupati कीन्हा, लोयन लाऊ हमहि विधि दीन्हा। तब निषादपति उर अनुमानु, तरु सिंह सुपा मनोहर सुहावा पुरजन करी जो हारु भर आए रघुबर संध्या करन सिधाए गुह सवारी साथरी दसाए कुसकी सलय मय मृदुल सुहाए सुचि फल मूल मधुर मृदु जानी दोना भरी भरी राखे सिपानी श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम सिय सुमंत्र भ्राता सहित कंदमूल फल खाई सयन कीन रघुवंश मणि भाय पलोटत भाई सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Now Nishad Raj had earlier told, Bhagwan, you just come to my village, come to my house. If anybody feels jealous, let them feel. You just come, that is what I am looking for. But now after Bhagwan said, no, I will not come, Nishad Raj did not insist. He called all the other people who were there, and now they are looking at Bhagwan and talking amongst each other. Ram Lakhana siya Rupa Nihari, kahahi saprema Grama Sabanari. Grama Sabanari, all of them, once they see Bhagwan, something they have to say. And just looking at the beauty of Bhagwan, Rama, Sita ji and Lakshman Ji, they are talking amongst each other. Such beautiful, delicate, young king and prince and princess are here. What kind of parents they must have been who have sent them to the forest? Are they even worthy of forest? What kind of parents they must have been who have sent them to forest? Te pitu matu kaun saki kaise? What must be their heart like? Jina pathaye bana balaka aise. They have sent these children to forest. Another person says, hey, don't look at it that way. If they had not sent, we would not have gotten their darshan. Eka kahi bhala bhupati kinha, lo yana lahu hamahi bididina. Bhagwan has sent them just for our sake. Don't judge, why they have been sent and everything. Just enjoy their darshan. They are very divine. Taba nishadapati ura anumana taru simsipa manoharajana. So this is Seva bhava. Bhagwan did not tell Nishad Raj what to do next. In his mind only he is thinking, what would Bhagwan need next? Now that he has come here, he has to take some rest. Right? If Bhagwan had told and then he had arranged things, he said there's a one notch down. It said there are 3 levels in Seva. One level of Seva is you don't even tell what to do. That other person thinks very carefully and does exactly that what the master wants, what the guru wants. If a person is in Seva of Guru, he says what they would want, they think and then do it. Second is the master asks and then the person does it. Means he said, only when you tell I will do. Third is, even after telling he doesn't do it. So second is one notch above that, and then the best one is the first. This is Seva bhava anywhere actually. Even at work, when we say we are doing Seva over there, what is the mindset of this person? That whatever is needed, he will do it because he is actually serving Bhagwan only. Right? He doesn't feel I'm serving the immediate person, immediate cause. He says, my Bhagwan is getting served through this. Whatever is needed, he will do without even being asked. What does Nishad Raj do? He feels Bhagwan is to take rest now. So he takes Bhagwan to one tree, Simsupa tree. It is the same tree which was there in Ashok Vatika when Sita ji was there. It has red leaves. Looks very beautiful. Simsupa tree. So he takes him there and he shows him. Le Raghunath hi thahu dikhawa. He says, Bhagwan, is this place okay? Even to ask this, how he must have felt, He's taking Lord of the Universe, King of Ayodhya, to a tree and showing that today you have to spend your night here. Is this okay? Bhagwan says, Kahe Ram sab bhanti suhava. Bhagwan says, oh, this is the best place. There is no better place than this. You have found a very, very good place. This manovritti, this thought of Bhagwan, shows the power of acceptance. There are so many situations which come where if we accept it as it is, it becomes less difficult to go through it. And those are some, of course, we might do something and try to change, but some we just have no control over. You must have seen when you go to catch a flight, our flight gets delayed. Now, if somebody else's gets delayed, we have nothing to do with it. But the moment something related to our sukha or dukkha comes, and we are unable to accept it, that same thing becomes more bothering. Sometimes it is at physical body level. Some vikara comes, modification at body level, it keeps happening, and sugar, little bit up and down. Many people say this, I have accepted this as part of my life. I cannot change it. I cannot help it. If I keep brooding over why me, then that experience becomes even more difficult. So Bhagwan's strategy is you accept things as they are. And then if at all something has to be changed, do it in the most non-agitating way. Because, this kind of attitude, many people will criticize also. They will say, many places have stayed behind because of this kind of acceptance. So there's a very fine line. You say, how many hours does water come? You say only 6 hours. Then you accept it and live with it. With that mindset, they will say, no progress is possible. Right? Because you started accepting everything, then why will you strive to have better things? But our scriptures say we are not against having better things. One facet of this whole analysis is there are some situations where we cannot change. Those ones, if we can accept, we can go through them in a better way. And even if there is a scope for change, one can bring about that change as a sadhana, not as a revolutionary josh that is there. Not in that way. Because end goal is paramartha only. In between, if some other project takes us away from our main goal, then that thing has not served our purpose. But these pointers you can reflect more upon. Where to draw the line for us in our life? Where should I accept things? And after having accepted, how should I work towards it? Right? If that process of working towards that goal affects us in our main sadhana, affects us in our main goal, which is paramartha, which is spiritual unfoldment, that is when we have to check whether our method or the means is the right means or not. So there is another way to respond. There is another way to work towards that goal, more in a deeper way, calmer way. Okay. Purajana kari joharu ghara ja aaye, Raghupara sandhya karana sidhaye. Everybody went back to their homes looking at Bhagwan Rama. And Bhagwan, where did he go? He went to do his Sandhya Vandanam. This is his charitra. Even in the forest, in between all this inconvenience that he has, he still does it without inconveniencing others. This is another part, For our vratam, for our vows, it should not cause inconvenience to somebody else. I like to chant early in the morning. Everybody is sleeping, this person gets and starts blowing conch. We had a few students in Sandeepany. Every morning, 4:30, they would blow conch. because that is like auspicious thing, sankalpa they have taken. So then they had to be told. You might have that sankalpa, but there are so many other people who are staying along with you. So that also is a sadhana. But Bhagwan does it in a way that it doesn't affect anybody else. Guha savari saath hari dasaye. Now, by the time Bhagwan came back from his Sandhya Vandanam, this Nishad Raj, he has made the bed now. From what? Kusha grass and the leaves which were available there. Kusa kisa laya maya mrudala suhaya. You imagine how soft he can make it from grass. No matter how much he does, it will still be hard only. This is just like, our beds have that frame, right? Bed frame. Imagine sleeping on that bed frame with some kind of grass and things over there, how it would feel. Like that he is, making that bed for Bhagwan. Now Bhagwan, he has to feed him also some dinner. So first he brings suchi phala. Suchi means that which is clean. Nothing, no other organisms living in that phala. And outside also, it should look presentable. Sometimes what happens, this bananas and all, you will find the ripened one, they'll have some spots. Now, although inside it is good, but it is not presentable outside. So whenever you offer to Bhagwan, everything should be like that, which is very good outside. Otherwise, it is considered as one dosha in food. Even when we cook food, the cooked food, when it is presented, if it is not appetizing or appealing, or it looks like something else, that is considered as one of the dosha in food. So that is this shuchita, the purity in that fruit. It says suchi phala, mula, all the roots and everything, and madhura mrudu jani. Means he knew exactly which are the sweet ones, and also soft ones, not the ones that you chew and you have to regret. It is so hard. Dona bhari bhari rakesi pani. And he's keeping water also for Bhagwan, but in a drona. Nicely he has made from that leaf. Water should not leak out also. Otherwise he kept in the evening. By the time Bhagwan wants to drink, nothing is there inside. But very nicely, crafted. When you read this Chaupai, we will appreciate the word in Bhagavad Gita, Mukta Sanga Samachara. Bhagwan says one should act without any attachment, but at the same time, it should be samachara. What happens is, if you misunderstand Karma Yoga, it comes sometimes at the cost of efficiency. And you see this also, right? Children sometimes say this to us. Anyway, you have to be detached to work. So whatever work you give, somehow or the other, they will get it done. Mukta Sangha. And actually, that is not the true meaning of Mukta Sangha. What they'll interpret as, I am detached from this result. It doesn't matter how I do it. This is no, Bhagwan has added two adjectives there. Detached from results, at the same time, samachara. Very, very diligent about how he is doing that action. And that becomes this person's personality. It is not only that if he does religious actions, he is diligent. It could be a small action as filling a glass of water. Whether he has the drops outside or he has wiped it outside and then given. All this is samacharatva. All this is samacharatva. Samachara means which is done very well. And if you want to read more about this samachara, we should just read Gurudev's life. The way he would do different actions. That I feel it is one of the best embodiment of samacharatva. Even if he is eating a banana, many people would say it looks like he is doing some meditative practice. The way he will look at it, the way he will peel it, the way he will put it in his mouth. Even the stamp that he is pasting on the envelope, equidistant from top and the left. Not this tilted somewhere, going somewhere. Why? Because he would say that is my puja. How diligent I am when it comes to Bhagwan, the same diligence when it comes to work. There is a book called as Vedanta Through Letters. The second edition is a hardcover one, which probably has fewer letters, it's more curated form of that book. There is volume 1 also. It's an old edition. I think now it's out of print. Krishnalaya might have some. Don't take it from there. Huh? Keep it back if you read. In Krishnalaya, you might have that old copy. And there, all the letters Gurudev has written in 1950s. They are there. And you see his diligence in writing. How carefully he will read the question of the person who has asked. How he will pay attention to all different facets of that person's life. And then he will give guidance also. But at the same time, Mukta Sangha. Not expecting anything back in return. That is our Nishad Raj over here. Doing it out of love, but at the same time, doing it well. Siya Sumantra Bhrata Sahita Kanda Mula Phalakhaye. Goswamiji time and again writes, whenever Bhagwan would eat, first he will write Sita Ji, then Sumantra Ji, then over here Lakshman Ji. He says, along with them, Bhagwan ate. Later also he says, first they were fed and then Bhagwan ate. He does that, and then Sayana Kina Raghu Bamsamani. Bhagwan is lying down on that bed made by Nishad Raj. Paya Palotata Bhai. And Lakshmanji is pressing his feet. Now, next we'll just read directly. Uthe Lakhanu Prabhu Sovata Jani. See, one part of Seva is we should know when to start and also when to stop. So Lakshmanji doesn't keep on pressing the feet because Bhagwan didn't tell me to stop. Use your Viveka after he's gone to sleep. He says, now I can go. Kahi Sachi Vahi So Vana Mrudubani. In very soft words, he tells Sumantra Ji, you are also tired. Please go and sleep. Kachuka Duri Saji Bana Sarasana. Little far, he goes and sits along with his bow and arrow. Jagana Lage Baiti Bhirasana. And Lakshmanji is wide awake at night when Bhagwan is sleeping, guarding Bhagwan in Virasana. Virasana, you must have seen Hanumanji sitting. That is one of the very unique asana, where a person is not fully sitting, nor is he standing. Whenever he wants to get up, he can quickly get up. Virasana, Hanumanji, like in our Siddhabari, Hanumanji is also in Virasana. Otherwise, first of all, why does he need this protection? He says forest is there, wild animals can be there, anything can attack. So protection is given by Lakshmanji. And he says Virasana is the one where I can quickly get up. There are so many asanas. Padmasana also you can sit and give protection, but by the time you open, by the time you get up, that animal would have finished its job. He says, no, I have to be very diligent. He says in Virasana, he is giving this protection to Bhagwan. Guha bolai paharu pratiti, thawa thawa rakhe ati priti. Now, Nishad Raj, he is calling all his people and he is placing them in the appropriate position to give protection to Bhagwan. Just like Lakshmanji is protecting Bhagwan, he has put people from his side. Now, Bhagwan never asked for it. Bhagwan did not say, I'm going to sleep. Please make sure that your security is okay. This is that same facet of Seva. He is not waiting for Bhagwan to tell anything. He is noticing what Bhagwan needs and then appropriately he is providing that from his side. And once he gives it, he is not concerned whether what Bhagwan does with it. He says, I want to give. This is why I am giving. There was one Mahatma Ji. One person came to him and said, Mahatma Ji, if you need something, please tell me. If you need something, please tell me. He said, okay, first I have to create a desire and grow it bigger so that it becomes a need. And then I have to tell you that I need this thing, please give it back to me. He said, this path itself is to remove desires and to be content with whatever comes. So Seva bhava is that person thinks, what will this person need? And then gives it out of gratitude. And after he gives, he is not concerned how that thing is used. That is another side of Seva. Gurudev would say, whenever he would go to any cold place, right, many shawls would be presented to him. And some of them would have his own name on it. Chinmaya name would be there, and then different patterns and everything. But the moment somebody gifts, next time he meets that person, they will ask, Swamiji, that shawl, is it there? I hope you are using it. This is, once you have given it to me, it is mine. There is nothing to be asked, nothing to be thought about. This is Nishad Raj Seva. He says, I will put people for Bhagwan's protection because I want it. Not necessarily because Bhagwan needs it. Aapu lakhana pahi baitheu jai, kati bhanti sara chapa chadhai. But not only that, he put other people to Seva and he went to his home and sat or slept. He also went next to Lakshmanji and he is also ready with his bow and arrow. He says, I will also stay in Bhagwan's protection. Until now, his mind was very, very occupied. He was busy, or first he was excited that Bhagwan came. Then he was busy in all the arrangements. He had to make bed for Bhagwan, do this, do that. Everything was happening. Now he made sure that all security is done. Slowly, when mind quietens down, deeper questions come to our mind. This happens to us, right? Whenever we are very involved at work or in some activity, we don't get too many thoughts. The moment we are driving back home, when all things have settled down and you reach home, that is when a lot of mind actually starts replaying. Whatever happened from morning, it will hit that replay button. Same thing is happening with Nishad Raj. Now he's feeling one question that comes to many people. And that question is, why do good people suffer? Why do good people? And here it is not only good, it is the best of the best. Bhagwan Rama, Sita Ji and Lakshman Ji, why do they have to suffer like this? Then he asks, So vata Prabhu hi nihari nishadu. He looks at Bhagwan who is sleeping on that Simsupa bed. Bhayau prema basa hrudaya bishadu. Because of the love he has towards the Lord, he feels a lot of sorrow in his heart. Tanu pulakita jalu lochanu bahi. His body is having horripilations, looking at Bhagwan in this condition, and is profusely weeping. Eyes tear up. Bachana saprema lakhana sanakahi. And in this condition, he is seeking support in Lakshmanji. He says, Lakshmanji, you tell me why this has happened in this way. And now he says, I have seen Bhagwan before. This is the portion where you notice that Nishad Raj knew Bhagwan well. He knew Ayodhya also. He knew his palace and interiors of that palace. He says, Bhupati Bhavana Subhaya Subhava. The king's palace is, Dashrath Maharaj's palace is very, very beautiful. Exquisite palace he has. Surapati Sadanu na Patatara Pava. Even Indra's palace is no match in front of Dashrath Maharaj's glory. That much of luxury is there. He says, I can explain also what all things are there. Manimaya Rachita Charu Chaubhare. There are different canopies, different things which are there in the palace made out of gems. They don't go for ordinary things, for lighting and other things. Everything is gems only. Janak Maharaj, Dashrath Maharaj. Favorite thing. Janu Ratipati Nija Hatha Samare. As though Kamadeva, Ratipati means Kamadeva, he has only arranged all these things with his own hands. That much is the glory of Dashrath Maharaj's palace. And different flowers are there. Suchi Subichitra Subhogamaya Sumana Sugandha Subhasa. And there is natural beauty also. See, if some city is there made only with man-made things, you think about which city is like this. Not here, outside. Only with man-made things. By itself, it is beautiful, but it is not beauty complete. If there is a good blend, that nature also has been nurtured in the right way, and palm is a real palm, okay, not something else, then it's a good blend. So Dashrath Maharaj's Ayodhya was like that. And his palace was a good blend of natural beauty and other man-made things. He says the room of Bhagwan Rama Dashrath Maharaj, most exquisite bedding, Palangu Manju, all comfortable things. Bhagwan also had a bedside lamp. Here it's written, Palangu Manju Mani Deepa. Right next to that bed, he had a lamp. But that lamp had diffused lighting from gems. Manju Mani means that gem itself glows. Probably they had some silken cloth you put on top of it that is closed. Night lamp reminded me of something. Gurudev used to draw cartoons also in his letters. So to children, sometimes he would come up with those funny cartoons and draw things. In one cartoon I saw Parvati ji talking to, he has drawn there. Parvati ji is talking to Lord Shiva. And she says, I want to go to sleep. Can you please turn off that lamp? The moon is there on his forehead. Can you please turn off that lamp? I want to go to sleep. So like this, Bhagwan's room is very, very exquisite. He's just describing the richness from where Bhagwan has grown up. Sababidhi Sakala Supasa. Everything is very comfortable. Bibida Basana, to where they have different clothings. And kings in those days, you can imagine what kind of variety would be there. Upadhana Turai, pillow, so much details is giving here. Means imagine how much he knew. Mattress. Turai means mattress. He says everything is so exquisite, just like milky ocean. Chira Pena Mrudu Bisada Suhai. It is very clean, nicely kept and arranged. In this, Bhagwan has grown up. Tahasiya Ramu Sayana Nisi Karahi Nija Chabi Rati Manoja Madhu Harahi. In that exquisite palace, Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji would stay. That even Kamadeva would feel ashamed in front of this kind of beauty of palace, and also Bhagwan beautifying that palace. This much was their fame. Tesiya Ramu Sathari Soye. The same Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji today are sleeping on this grass, bed of grass. Shramita Basana Binu Jahina Joye. And they don't have this royal clothes anymore. They are wearing this bark of the tree. And Sita ji, of course, was wearing her, royal clothes. But he says even that is such a difficult thing to see, Bhagwan Rama in this condition. And he says not that Bhagwan Rama did something wrong to somebody. Means he had done something wrong from his side. Then we could understand some difficult situation has come because of that. He says everybody loved him so much. Ma tu pita parijana purabasi, mother, father, people from that city, Sakha Susila Dasa Arudasi, friends and all other sevakas who are there, they would serve Bhagwan as though he was his own pranas. Jo gavahi jina prana ki nai, mahi so vatatihi Rama Gosai. That same Bhagwan Rama who grew up in so much of luxury, who is used to so much of luxury, but he has also lived a good life. Whom people love so much, today he is sleeping on this bed made of grass. Then slowly his mind goes towards Sita ji, because she is also there with him. He says, who is Sita ji? Her introduction he is giving now. Pita Janaka Jaga Vidita Prabhav. Sita ji is somebody whose father is Janak Maharaj. And his glory is known all over the world. Pita Janaka Jaga Vidita Prabhav Sasura Suresa Sakha Raghurao. You put the comma in the right place. It is Suresa Sakha Sasura. Means Suresa means Indra Bhagwan. Suresa Sakha is friend of Indra. Friend of Indra is his Sasura. Is her Sasura. Father-in-law. Father-in-law is friend of Indra. That is Raghurao. Raghurao means Dashrath Maharaj. If you put comma after Suresa, it becomes Sasura is Suresa. Okay, the Suresa Sakha, friend of Indra, that is her father-in-law. Now, father is very great, father-in-law is great. What about husband? His husband is none other than Lord of the universe. Ramu Chandupati So Vaidehi. Husband is none other than Bhagwan Rama himself. So Vata Mahi. That same Sitaji today is sleeping on that ground. Now, in his mind, he is seeing this situation. Now, Nishad Raj is pointing 3 reasons. Okay, this is where Lakshman Geeta begins. Now, he is pointing 3 reasons why this situation has come. First, he says, Sovata Mahi Bidhi Bamanaki. Reason number 1, he says, is Brahmaji. Bidhi means Brahmaji. Fate you call, or Bhagwan also you can say over here. He says, first reason for this paristhiti is Brahmaji. You never know when he takes which side and when he will change things around. This is first cause for Bhagwan Rama and Sitaji's condition is Brahmaji. Bidhi Bhamanakehi. Anytime he can twist things. Siya Raghubira ki Kanana Jogu is Sitaji and Bhagwan Rama. Are they fit for forest? He says, it is true. Our own karmas, they play different roles sometimes. Karma pradhana satya kahi logu. It is true that karmas are very powerful. They can make somebody like Bhagwan Rama and Sitaji also go through this difficult times. How many are done? 2. Reason number 1 was Brahmaji or Bhagwan. Reason number 2 is karma. Suddenly his mind goes to Kaikeyi. He starts scolding Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi Nandana Mandamati. This Kaikeyi is Mandamati. She doesn't have right buddhi. Kathina Kutila Panukina. Very harsh kind of deceit she has played on Bhagwan Rama. Jehi Raghunandana Janakihi Sukha Avasara Dukhadina. When it was a time for joy, she has given them sorrow. Third reason is Kaikeyi. You see how beautifully Goswamiji is introducing this part now. Nishad Raj is seeing one situation. What is the situation? Bhagwan Rama Sitaji sleeping on that bed of grass, made out of grass. But for that one situation, he has identified 3 independent causes. One, he says Bhagwan is responsible. Second, he says karma is responsible. And third, he says Kaikeyi is responsible. Now, Lakshmanji is going to answer. He says, you are having one result. How can there be 3 independent causes? At least come to one cause, one main cause for that one result. There can be auxiliary causes, but there cannot be 3 independent causes for one particular result. For simplicity, it is just like saying, you receive a packet through Amazon. Okay, the delivery guy comes and gives it to you. And 3 friends call and say, I have sent it. Okay, 3 friends call and say, I have sent it. Now you say that is not possible. One of you must have sent it, other 2 might have supported it. And it is very possible that I myself must have expressed a desire before. To friend 1, he told friend 2, friend 3 ordered it. So now Lakshmanji says, if you are seeing 3 different things as cause, first come to one thing as cause. Look at the second chaupai after 91st Doha. Bole lakhana madhura mrudubani jnana viraga bhagati rasasani. Lakshmanji is now assuming a very different role that he generally doesn't do. Lakshmanji, when he speaks, it is very, very sharp sometimes. Parshuramji, with that anger, he spoke. In front of Samudra Devata later, he says, Deva Deva asi alasi pukara. People who wait too long and keep being very, very forbearing, they are very alasi. Bhagwan, take your bow and arrow, dry up this ocean. when he goes to remind Sugriva, 4 months are over, you have to come back. This is Bole Bachana Madhuram Rudubani, very different. He doesn't do this kind of speech. But Goswamiji introduced Lakshmanji's character in the beginning. He said Lakshmanji is somebody who always wants to show the other side of Bhagwan's personality, such that Bhagwan's personality comes in the forefront more clearly. He gave the example of the flag post and the flag. He said Bhagwan's character is like the flag and Lakshmanji is the danda. He is that flag post on which this flag is seen very high. And that flag post is not even noticed. Whenever we go for a Independence Day celebration or anything, how many of us notice the flag post? But it is that flag post only which has taken that flag so high. So whenever Bhagwan and Lakshmanji are together, you come to see Bhagwan's character more. He says how Bhagwan responded to Parshuramji. We will appreciate that only when we see Lakshmanji responding in that angry way. Sugriva also the same thing. Bhagwan says, just go and remind him. Lakshmanji goes with that anger. So now he is in Guru Rupa. He is in the role of a guru. So that's why Jnana Biraga Bhagati Rasasani. He is going to speak words which are filled with knowledge, Vairagya, and devotion. All three things together. Now this is a very, very important chaupai. Kahuna ko sukha dukha karadata, nija kruta karma bhoga sabha bhrata. Kahuna ko, there is nothing or there is nobody until today who has given joy or sorrow to anybody. Kahuna ko sukha dukha karadata. Nobody gives joy to anybody, nobody gives sorrow to anybody. Nija kruta karma. It is brought to us by our own karmas. And one has to do their bhoga. Nija kruta karma, bhoga sabha bhrata. One has to go through it in a very deeper way. Now this one chaupai, if it can open up for us in life, that there is nobody who can give us sorrow, there is nobody who can give us joy also. That itself will become a revolutionary shift in our sadhana. Something which can take us way ahead in our sadhana. At the same time, save us from a lot of anxiety and also save us a lot of time. So next session, we will just reflect on this one chaupai. Kahuna ko sukha dukha karadata, nija kruta karma, bhoga sabha bhrata. So out of 3 people who had sent that package, he says identify only one. In that same way, out of these 3 causes that you have identified, the Bhagwan, karma, and some immediate cause, he says come to only one first, and that one is karma. Now with this in mind, we can have a lot of facets opening up in the sense of how does this karma actually work? What is Bhagwan's role then if everything is ordered by karma only? I cannot deny my immediate experience also. The situation around does give sukham or dukkham. Like right now, let us say if this mic stops working. Now that itself will disrupt our thinking or not. And what is it saying? Kahuna ko sukha dukha karadata. Let us say the temperature here is very, very cold. You keep saying kahuna ko sukha dukha karadata, nija kruta karma bhoga sabha bhrata. How is that possible? Because I feel this, that I get affected by objects, I get affected by people around, we get affected by the place we are around, place we are in. We also get affected by the time that we are in. They do influence our mind, how do we understand this Chaupai in the light of all these facets? Okay, if I enter now, it will take longer. We'll do it in the next session. We have some announcements, so please stay back after Nama Sankirtana. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama Apat Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama Dasharathanandana Shri Rama Dashamukhamardana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Shri Rama Pathavi Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama Jaya Raghu Rama Jaya Sita Rama Vanara Sevita Shri Rama Varidhi Bandhana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Siyavara Ramachandra Ki Jai Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Maheshji, you can go ahead.
Hari Om Sohamji. Hari Om everybody. I'm sure most of you have heard this announcement in the last few days in other classes. So the next Mahashivratri is 4 months away, February 18th. I know it seems a long way, but Soham Ji has taken a challenging sankalpa on all of our behalf. So we have an amazing opportunity to learn to chant Sri Rudram in the right way. And Soham Ji has graciously agreed to teach us all by recording every single Anuvaka and giving us in bits every week. So we will have the recordings posted. We will have the ability to learn it by ourselves. But more importantly, I think it's very important for us to attend these 3 or 4 sessions that we will have just before our monthly Shiva Puja on the second Monday of every month. So November, December, and January, we will have the sessions with Soham Ji and other experts to learn it the right way. And then on Mahashivratri Day, we can all be prepared to chant it. So it's a great opportunity. Many people have already registered. I'm looking forward to it myself. And all the details are on the webpage. And please go and register so that we'll have a good turnout. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om. I'd like to wish everyone a happy Deepavali 2 days in advance. I know it starts from Friday. Traditional North Indian homes, they start on Dwadashi Divas. It is our custom and ashram that we observe Lakshmi and Kubera Puja on the day of Deepavali. And then we have a children's Samashti Puja also on one of the Sundays. This year we have combined both the pujas and they fall on Monday, October 24th. So we welcome all of you. As part of this puja, we request all of you to do this. If you have children accompanying you, then you need to register them as part of the Samashti Puja. And as part of the same registration process, or RSVP process as we call it, we want to know how many adults and how many children will come so that our kitchen team can plan for the food. Our Seva team can plan for food. So it's a very special occasion. Diwali is celebrated, all of us celebrate. But what I like about the way we observe the children's Samashti Puja is children get to independently perform puja, Lakshmi Puja, guided by our Panditji. And it's a very unique experience for them. Many of you may be observing and doing puja at home, but there are many kids who, they just see it, or they may have never done it, or they may have never seen it also. So we encourage you to, come with entire family, please come. If you know any friends who would really enjoy, in participating, or their children participating in this event, let them know and remind them to RSVP. There is a surprise. Don't tell it to kids, but if you have to tell it to entice them, go ahead, tell them. We have sparklers at the end of, just for children, okay? If we have extra, maybe adults will be able to do it. So we'll have, responsible adults guiding them in our parking lot, doing sparklers. So this will be their, little experience of how we generally celebrate Diwali in India. The second upcoming event is our Thanksgiving camp. So last 2021, 2 years, we have been doing Thanksgiving camp online. Finally, we'll be able to do Thanksgiving camp in person at our Krishnalaya ashram. Soham Ji mentioned about Gurudev's letter book. This would be your opportunity to see the original book if it is there, and leave it there. But as part of this camp, the topic Soham Ji has selected is Manisha Panchakam. So Manisha Panchakam, if you have not heard, it's a very short composition by Bhagavan Shankaracharya Ji, only 5 verses. But it covers 4 Mahavakyas, the essence of 4 Mahavakyas. So actually it is essence of entire Vedanta. And so the topic appropriately given by Soham Ji is Vedanta in a nutshell. So it will be it's a family camp. That means you can come with your entire family. Traditionally, what has happened is the registration of the Thanksgiving camp, it gets full. So we have made it a 2-step process. And step 1 is pre-registration. That means if you want to come, you need to pre-register, and it is on first come, first serve basis. That means, at 6 o'clock on November the 6th, Sunday, November the 6th at 6 o'clock, the pre-registration will open. And you need to very quickly enter your name, email, your phone number, how many adult male, adult females, and children are going to come. We go through that list sequentially, first in, first out basis, and we start allocating rooms. And the reason we do it is, first of all, there is no way to close the limitation based on the capacity of Krishnalaya. That is one reason. The second being, the configuration of each room is different. Some rooms have capacity of 2 people, some have capacity of 5 people, and each family is different. So we want to make sure that when we go down the list sequentially, we accommodate as many families as possible. And just to let you know, if you have never attended the camp, between 6 o'clock when the registration opens, 6 o'clock and 6:01, we generally have 40 entries. So if you think that, okay, let me finish my tea, or let me finish this work, I will come at 6:05 and pre-register, there'll be 120 people ahead of you. So if you are seriously interested, I highly encourage that you be alert on November 6th and pre-register. But don't be discouraged. If you don't get, there will be plenty of off-site accommodation available. We have all this information available on our website. There is an FAQ document. It talks about the program, the fees, the off-site accommodations if you don't prefer to stay on-site, and various other things. There is also an email if you have question, tgcamp@cmsj.org. Feel free to send us an email. There will be volunteers who will be happy to answer your questions. But we wanted to give you heads up so that you can start thinking about how to spend your Thanksgiving with your family, and consider coming to Krishnalaya if you have never come. Trust me, it will be a life-changing experience. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow for Vedanta Sara class.